Monday Night Lights, Monday Night Lights, Monday Night Lights. Let's talk about what's been going on at Viking Ice Arena. You've never seen a league so exciting and tough and fast. It simply must be discussed on an equally exciting and tough podcast. What's it called? Monday Night Lights. Yeah. Monday Night Lights. Monday Night Lights. What's been going down on the ice? Who are the leaders? Who are the failures? The Ducks, the Tigers, the Nordiques, the Whalers, the Seals, the Americans, the North Stars. Who's gonna stall? Who will go far and earn the keg? Who's gonna earn the keg? We'll find out in time. Give us a holler on the whoop line.
And the Monday Night Lights podcast is back. Brian Piercy here with Cam and Mr. Hedis. How you boys doing today?
Excellente, actually.
I'm doing pretty good. No one took me out to boba tea today, though, so I'm a little disappointed.
What the heck is that?
You know what boba tea is? If I have to explain it to you, you miss. Never mind. You're missing the joke. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. As the theme song said, give us a call on the Whoop line, 714-75-WHOOP. We haven't actually had a voicemail since we've been back this season. Email address is podcast@mnlhl.com. Follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching live or viewing this. We have Twitch as well. Follow, subscribe, Prime as well, Instagram, Twitter, all of that stuff. And if you're interested in joining the podcast like Mr. Cam did, just reach out to me. We had a late cancel. If not, we would have tried to get another guy in as well. So
I also want to throw in there too. We have the YouTube channel. I don't know if it's Strag or you or someone else. We also release clips like about once a week, which are kind of fun. So there's one recently of me doing the old poke check on Proctor scoring.
There's
two.
now.
There's two. Yeah, I think there's been 4 clips overall, but they're fun. Yeah, check them out if you guys don't watch them. I think it's like once a week. Whoever's releasing them is doing a good job. They're like 45 seconds a piece, but
they're like 15. Those are me. Yeah,
No.
YouTube actually has, it's called YouTube Shorts now. It's in beta. It's kind of like their TikTok ripoff. So I've just been adding those in.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, yours and another one. Almost our first video is up to 1,000 views. I
Yeah,
think
I
they're
know,
at
right?
950, 980 some. So, you know, it doesn't hurt. Maybe someone will subscribe to the channel. We got to try to get to that 100 subscribers so we can actually get our custom URL. Big importance in our hockey world, I guess.
no, I agree.
Get your
with
kids
that.
to get on there, family members,
Bring
ex-family members, twice removed.
bring Carson on the podcast. Let's go.
Yeah.
When you're at work, just go on YouTube and do the playlist for the podcast, press autoplay, and just don't pay attention to it, but get those minutes up. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Or you can see me getting absolutely just train rolled by Paulie, and who doesn't want to see like a villain of the league get scored on? So there's that.
To be fair,
villain of the
I think it's more him going about around Ryan Allen that's more impressive. When I was doing that, I was trying to come up with a song, and originally I was thinking Ludacris, "Move, Bitch, Get Out the Way." But I thought that was kind of offensive and mean. We want to be positive about it, so I had to find another song.
No, that was great. I mean, those were great clips. I think that was from the game too. That was like one of the greatest Monday Night Lights games I've ever participated in. When the Americans came back, they're down like 3-0, came back 3-3, and then we ended up winning, I think, in the shootout or something. But yeah, good times.
So moving on to the first subject, jersey update. So apparently we're next in line for jerseys being made.
Oh.
It's a start. Still don't actually know an exact date. I think, shipping's bad anyway, so I don't think we can really know. China supply chains. I think Cam does logistics, so he probably knows
Oh, it's a
that those
mess.
issues are actually real.
It's a very large issue. At the time.
Wait.
Stay
So-
close to the microphone.
Wait, you mean the jerseys we are next in line to be like, we're the next customers in line to have the jerseys themselves made. Like they aren't made already, just sitting on a ship somewhere.
Well, they could be being made. I have not. Maybe they've been made and we haven't heard, but as far as I know, they haven't shipped as of yet.
I do follow their Instagram account, and I know they do a lot of club colleges and stuff like that. So maybe just backed up from all that. Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, at this point, boys, let's just cancel the order. Let's get white pennies and blue pennies and go full tilt.
Oh, that just takes away from the fun of our MNL league, though.
I mean, are you going to get the jerseys before March? Find out next episode of Monday Night Lights. The answer is no, but
Yeah, you never know. I mean, right now, long story. I'm breaking my cardinal rule, though. I'm talking about work when I'm not at work. So
Yeah, I mean, who knows? It is what it is right now. We all know it's year 2 of a weird situation. realistically, this happens every year, just probably not this bad. It's out of our control. Maybe why we want to consider new alternatives next year as far as lower quality in the US type things, but we'll wait for it to come. Hopefully
Maybe
they'll
get a
turn
money
out
line
good.
going here soon, exact date and everything.
It's like
Who's going to be misspelled this year? Some Werver.
some word.
Never know.
Do you like that community like pod pool where everybody like picks a date when like, the car falls into like the like the lake sort of thing? But it's when the jerseys come, whoever like lands the date gets like the money pot.
There you go.
Half goes to charity.
Yeah.
MNL charity.
Yeah, right.
Beer fund.
Yeah,
Sounds
I mean,
Woot's
right
pockets.
now we're probably looking November, hopefully. I mean,
That sounds pretty.
I don't know
realistic.
how, when you think about it, you're looking at it's October 20th right now. I don't know where the year's going already, but
November seems very optimistic. I mean, like I said, if they haven't even made the jerseys yet,
Oh,
like,
maybe it'll be like a little Christmas surprise for us.
yeah,
You never know.
good luck seeing those until Feb. So yeah, so maybe there might be some offline chatter about maybe how to make the league look spicy again. Maybe everyone uses their jerseys from last year and you just rip off the old name tapes. I don't know, but
yeah, it's not something that I'm gonna lose sleep over. But obviously, we usually look good. It's nice to have.
I would want to look good. Well, that's the reason why I bring it up is because I want to look good for LCA. If we go to LCA, people are gonna bring their cameras there, right? Or I know I would. Like if I'm not playing in one of the games, I'll bring my camera out there and get some nice shots from the stands.
Don't you have to worry about getting on the ice first?
Yeah, I'll be there. I mean, you're talking to the point leading defenseman to the Pink Flamingos right now. So thank you very much.
Oh,
that
you're
your
actually
make-believe
getting out
hockey
there
team,
playing on the
or-
ice.
Yeah, I just played this past Sunday. I got 4 assists. So
Since we're into it, what's your status at goalie though?
baby, I would have played this Monday. We didn't have a game.
So that means you're back.
Yeah, effectively. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not back because I haven't played Monday Night Lights yet, but
Very wishy-washy answer right there.
I haven't played in a game. So can I say I'm back if I haven't played in a game yet?
Guess who's back?
You've been let's
well,
well, let's just say apparently you've been cleared
yeah,
to
pretty much.
play.
Well,
So-
I haven't been clear. I'm just coming to play, so I don't care.
Warrior out here.
Pretty much, right?
Next thing is ice update. Obviously, we are all there Monday. Ice has still not been put in, so not a good sign. Last I've heard is the city has approved new heaters to go into the Olympic arena. I don't really know how that works. Bad news, it sounds like those heaters that they're renting or whatever is waiting on a part, and there's supply chain issues, and that part might not be in for a month.
Ugh. This never ends for us right now. We can't catch a break.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Ice is just tilting. Oh, there's no ice. Never mind.
Yeah. All right, we're playing roller hockey now, guys. Everyone grab your roller skates.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'd say as of right now, probably expect 11:30 games for the indefinite future. And if we get the Olympic rink back open, this year, it's open. It's a bonus time.
I mean, are they going to give us a nice little spicy discount on the side for having to put up with?
We don't have to pay anything, so it doesn't really.
Oh, I don't know anything about this logistics. And like the
Yeah,
money.
goalies want to be paid for that. I don't know.
I'm just trying to help the league. I'm a giver here. I'm just trying to help everybody
Connoisseur.
else. Yeah, I'm just trying to help everybody else in the league keep their ice bills down.
I mean, it is what it is. I know Troy's been working hard. There's some guys, been looking at alternatives, either if we could have a game at another rink.
I mean, worst comes
There's
to
really no way to actually find, ice time for the whole rink. Anything that is available is, probably 12 o'clock anyway. So currently there are no other solutions that we can find. I know Drager will be doing his best to kind of keep it equal amount of 11:30 games for everybody. So hopefully, you do one every 4 weeks or so and you kind of bite the bullet. I think the Maroons, our first game coming up at 11:30 is this coming week. And I think we might then have a 10 o'clock or 10:30, then an 11:30 game. So having those two back to back kind of stinks,
Yeah,
but
the Whalers have done it.
Oh,
it is what it
oh
is.
no,
And
you
we're going to
guys
have to deal with it.
One 11:30 game.
We've had
thus
two,
far.
sir.
Yeah, so the Tigers.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But isn't your bedtime like 4 a.m.?
Hey,
Yeah.
my bedtime's whenever I make it, baby.
11:30 is his lunch break.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it feels like.
Yeah,
But
when we were asking about the podcast today, it's like his head is there. It's like he doesn't wake up till 1 or 2 o'clock.
Right.
I gotta give him time.
it depends that circadian rhythm at the different time. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, worst comes to worst, I say we just call Ben, have him back up the fire truck to the Olympic rink, and
Spray it down.
just spray it down.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. obviously it's not fun. From what I understand, is the actual rink is right now lower than what it was at the end of last year, but a lot of people complained about the raise last year. I'm a bender. I don't notice those things, so I'd be fine with the ice being in, but obviously a situation like this could get worse over time, so I guess it's understandable that Hazel Park would be wanting to fix it at least, to a
more revenue for them,
yeah, they're
Two
going to
sheets
want to fix
running.
it, but they were going to want to do it right. They don't want to put the ice in and then, in the spring have to deal with the same situation again and have it not in the ice in the rink for, another 6 months or so. So it is what it is. Hopefully, it'll be, fixed by the end of the year. Hopefully we don't have to look for a new rink next year. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a smooth year, 2 years of roughness, and then next year is going to be golden. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. We can't really control it, factors that we don't control. So
We can play good hockey though, and there's been a lot of that last week. So maybe start diving into that.
Yeah. Well, I have one more thing before we start diving into hockey on the news front.
Oh,
So Matt Taylor obviously did decide to leave the league.
our best condolences.
our best, he's not dead. You're like, rest in peace, Matt Taylor. I'm sorry that you left the league.
Hey, we wish him well. We wish him well.
I mean, I don't like the fact that someone, wasn't enjoying themselves enough or they felt like they had to leave the league. So I don't actually look at it as a celebration. Yes, he probably was too good for the league. There is, he was getting hacked. When you're playing the skill level against the skill level that we do, that stuff happens. Some people are just hacks in our league. Let's face it. Other people don't mean to hack, but they just don't realize fully they're doing it because they don't have the control or the skill with their sticks. And those things are going to happen, especially when you have some guy speeding at you. And I don't know. I think he did actually sometimes generate contact, but he's used to playing against those skill guys that know how to handle that, where you're coming up against a bender. He's coming at them straight on. They're going to probably hit him a little bit differently, stuff of that range.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends. I've seen him do, the same magical things Monday Night Lights as he does in like a A league and beer league and stuff. So it's just his type of game, kind of to a degree, where he will challenge and skate at people one on one. But by the same token, like you said, you kind of I agree with that. You have to slow down like the best players Monday Night Lights. A lot of times, what you have to do, I mean, you kind of you bend that rule book a little bit. You kind of do things that you wouldn't normally do to like a you or a Dougie or like a Troy type, where it's like you can play defense on that person and they're not generally going to beat the defenseman or whoever it is 1-on-1. But Matt Taylor, Serta types, Sugar is a great example yesterday. I mean, people get mauled, and sometimes you can't make a call at every single point in the game just because a stick's left a little bit high, or someone's using their offhand on a play. So
Yeah, he played pretty aggressive though. He was always like that aggressive style down in like between the hashes. He, like Piercy stated, like when you get those lower round bender guys, that's good. They're gonna just kind of do whatever they can to hold them back. So then there's gonna be a little stick whack here, or maybe a little shove, and just trying to do anything to stop them, type of thing. So
Yeah, I don't want to dwell on it too much, but like I
Yeah.
said, I don't like the way he left, that he felt like he had to leave because he was getting abused and it could turn into a fight or something else. I would have rather had him leave, maybe at the end of the year, end of last year type of thing, but maybe it'll be better for the league. I don't know. Only time will tell. Kind of going into that.
we did
The
get a new
Whalers have
replacement.
found a replacement. I think it's Slick Rick. I think it's Merritt is the last name.
Yes.
Cam as being another Whaler. Why don't you give us a little rundown of what you know of him so far?
So from the three games I've played with him so far, he's been a great guy. Good locker room addition. Likes to say his little chirps here and there, get the guys going, and before we hit the ice. And it's yeah, I think it's a great replacement. Maybe not the same skill level as Matt Taylor.
He's a different skill level, I would say.
Yeah. I would say, you got that Matt Taylor sniper. He's kind of more of a playmaker, but he can also shoot. I think on Monday, one of those goals was an absolute snipe. So yeah, he's been a great addition to the team and a nice little quick think on your feet replacement for us. So liking it so far. It seems to be the Trent Slickrick line for us. So
he reminds me. He has. I feel like he's like a diet brand of Matt Taylor. there's times where he has like that try-hardy kind of feel to him, where he's like got the puck and he has this like 100-mile-hour reckless abandon to like a boards or something to pick up the puck. He doesn't have like the smooth kind of like the Serta everyman's Renaissance man, like Paulie, like in the right spot at the right time, and they're fast and they're skilled, but you don't see them like always going 1,000 miles an hour to the boards to pick up the puck. And maybe that's just his style, but I mean, it translates really well Monday Night Lights. So he may not, like you said, like Cam said, like overall elite skill, like as good as Matt Taylor's, but he's got enough skill for like Monday Night Lights that like, I don't know, he's definitely first round pick. He's definitely probably in top 3. I mean, the guy's got 11 points in 3 games, 6 goals in 3 games. Are you kidding me? Like, yeah. So he's definitely a fair replacement for Matty T.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I saw him I actually talked to him 2 weeks ago. I think I still get him and Dale mixed up a little bit just for faces.
Oh, Dale's a great guy.
Being the new guys.
Those chiseled jaw lines every time.
He's got a strong jaw.
The crimson chin.
I would say right now my only problem with Rick is he hasn't actually added a profile picture to Slack yet. He's just that white with the blue outline figure.
Oh,
Get that in there.
You guys got to start with that's actually against Monday Night rules. You guys start your next game with a 2-minute penalty. That's unsportsmanlike. You got to have an image.
Well, maybe we got to get Piercy on here and show him, do a little screen share like right here.
Man,
buddy,
I can't
this is
even
what
get
you
Payne
do.
Greasy to change his profile picture. You think I'm going to get Rick to change his?
Maybe we can start doing the videos. Maybe it's just him shooting. Who knows?
It's like it's a YouTube video how to change your picture in Slack. Brought to you by Monday Night Lights.
Well,
It'll be our newest YouTube short.
Exactly.
Great.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Probably
let's
line.
move on to some games now. First game of the night, we had the North Stars versus the Seals. North Stars pull out the victory, OT 4-3. I think in this game, just for a quick recap, Seals got up early 3-1. North Stars were coming back. They actually tied it up with about 1.5-ish seconds left to have it go into overtime. I know as a person watching the game, you could hear a lot of the crowd be excited and the other half of the crowd be very disappointed, not because they don't like the North Stars, but because it was extending game time right now with our late schedule. So going into overtime, the sniper, Troy Otto, with the game winning overtime goal.
What a beaut, by
With
the
the
way.
game, I
What
would
a
say that
beaut.
goal was only possible because of his brother, Ty.
Just waiting at the blue line for everybody else to come in is great.
Hedis, why don't you kind of
mind-boggling.
give us your first thoughts on the game?
So, I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't see I didn't see like the first 2, and I didn't see the first 3 periods. I came in the OT right at the end, right when they scored the goal. I opened the door right when Pellet was like, slam dunk. I was like, oh, okay, well, there we go. It's an exciting game, boys. And I looked at the scoreboard. Oh, it's 3s. So, but from what I heard, I mean, like you said, the score, it was like North Stars start up 1-0, really topsy-turvy game. Then ended up being 3-1, and then finally they came back. So, just in overtime, I mean, it's kind of hard to compare the teams and what happened during the game, because for me specifically, like, it's just Benderline against Benderline, and both Benderlines had chances. I think at one point, it was Ty, Troy, and who was at I can't remember who else was on the line right before, but Ty had a breakaway and he could have finished the game off himself.
Oh, I know.
And he
so close.
I don't know who he did. Was it Z that he deked, or who was playing goalie that
Riley.
It was
Riley?
Z.
No.
It's
Riley.
Z.
It was
Oh,
Z.
Z,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He had deked Z, and then he tried
Just
5
lost
hole.
it. Just lost on the back end.
And the puck was sitting on the back of his pad on the line, and then when he rolled over to get up, the puck kicked out and just sat in the crease for a 1,000, 2 1,000. And because they're benders, no one's either you crash the net or you don't crash it as a bender. There's no this time to attack and stuff like that when you crash the net, skill guys. So Ty's gas sitting there not getting the puck. Whoever else was on the other line with them wasn't getting the puck, and then whoever was changing for Troy, they were on the ice. So it was literally just 1-on-3. The puck's in the crease. No one from the no one could get it from the Seals. It was crazy. Yeah, but you brought it up, Cam, that Ty really set up the game winning goal kind of by doing his not Russian pirouette, but the Russian stop, the American stop and call for a taxi.
I want to say there was a solid 4 seconds of him just standing there for Troy and whoever else is on the line to get in the zone.
Yeah.
And then, Troy steps below the bottom of the circle, pulls it out, puts it right under the pad of, I think it's 5-hole or maybe far side on him, and goal. Game over.
I was just so taken aback that Troy split 3. I mean, granted, the Seals didn't change, but still, he split 3 Seals defenders and a goalie to score a goal just to cap off the dream Monday night. Like this is like if we had like a NHL Classics top 25 game, this would be a top 5 game in the league of all time. This is insane. Like to come back from like a second and a half down against the vaunted #1 Seals this early in the season, and the North Stars were on the bubble to possibly trade players going into this week. Answers a lot of questions.
What makes you think they were going to trade players?
Because I know two of the teams they were talking to that were interested in possibly trading players with them, and was waited on this week, and they definitely kind of shut the door on that. Now that they're above like the basement floor, they're probably not going to be like looking to trade or move anybody because the deadline this year is a little bit earlier than normal.
Tricky Troy Otto always doing some things.
I mean, usually the trading deadline is because we do 3 rotations of playing teams. It's usually at the end of the second rotation. So as far as I know, it hasn't changed on that.
Yeah, I just think what I'm trying to say is I think this year it comes earlier at that second rotation. Because in the past, like I think it would like fall on like a break when we wouldn't skate on a week, like the holiday break. So then we'd have like an extra week or something. But this year, when I was looking at it, it comes like a week or so earlier.
That's quite possible. Also, I want to say maybe last year it got extended just because the owners were like, "There's no action. Let's just extend it." It was like, what?
It's not going to make people trade. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. A couple things I did notice about the North Stars. It looked like Bauer was moved up to forward this week. I actually liked Bauer looking at the game. I liked him better at defense. I feel like he's a little bit more all over the place at a forward. He's more disciplined and kind of position oriented. I just thought it worked nice. Troy, he was back at defense from what I saw. Troy, he played fine back there, but I think he is more valuable as a forward there. We can say what he wants. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's a smart hockey player. He's got good hands. He knows where to move the puck, and he can shoot where he wants to shoot the puck.
Yeah, having hands be able to shoot for a bender is like those are bender skills most benders have. They're like, oh, like DeBusta, he's got hands and can shoot. Can he skate? No, not per se, not a lot really. So, I mean, Troy kind of is like super bender in a sense, right? He's a middle round guy. He can skate a little bit, but he also has hands.
Might be pulling himself out of that bender pool here soon.
I mean, yeah, he's gonna be drafted in the 4th round.
Troy for going up.
Yeah, Troy for 4th round after last night. You heard it here first. Skilly, you're welcome. I'm helping you in your draft stock. That's another thing. I wanted to chirp Skilly. I didn't realize that Skillman had played or subbed for the North Stars yesterday.
Monday, bud. Monday.
Oh, Monday. See, all the days are blended together.
So, do we have any other thoughts on this first game of the night?
Other than my personal biases and me being disappointed they didn't lose, but
great way to end the game with 1.5 seconds.
Hey, if you want to think about it, maybe it's better that it went into overtime because then there's only a max of 2 points for the North Stars and the Seals only get 1 point, so it kind of keeps the standings tighter than having one team just get 3. I mean, I guess as being a Tiger,
I like that.
You almost want the North Stars to get 0 points, but it's one of those tough things.
We just gotta dig ourselves out of the hole. We gotta drag it back down. That's our goal.
The silo, not the hole.
So we'll move on to the next game of the night. It was the Maroons versus the Whalers. The Whalers took this one 3-0. We got the winning goalie with a shutout over here. So I'm going to let him give his firsthand thought of the game.
Well, fun game to play in from the start. We go up halfway through the first period, go up 1-0. I believe that was the Slick Rick snipe. I do not recall who got the other 2 goals.
He got the second one and Trent got one.
Okay. Well, then there you go. Our offense currently, our grind line did awesome though. Our defense, was playing well, clearing out the pucks, helping me out when I needed help. And then we also had a pretty good forecheck rocking. Our grind line was actually pretty surprising. I'm pretty sure Goose probably stopped like 3 or 4 block shots. Full pantycopter send right there on a couple of them. So that was pretty cool to see. And, Woodsy he's that guy who'll go grind down in the corners. It was a little, we're warming up and I see Peso, Sugar, and Pete. I'm like, okay, these guys are going to have some offense. I don't know if you guys switched up maybe halfway through the game, trying to put on a little bit more pressure, but I definitely felt it. A lot more shots. Pretty even till maybe like a 60-40, but it was just a good game. We were just clicking on all ends and kind of shutting you guys down right at our blue line. So that helped us a lot and got us the W.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you guys, obviously Edge wasn't there, which, Pete subbed for us. Pete's a great player. Pete played well, but, you like to have that, consistent lines, that consistent chemistry of kind of knowing what guys did. So I mean, that might have hurt us some, but, you guys came out rolling. You guys came out skating hard. I thought you guys outskated us, especially in that first period. You got a quick 2 goals. After that, I forget when you guys scored the other goal. You guys probably had a slight advantage, but I thought in the third period we really picked it up and we were getting more chances.
Oh yeah.
But you were making some saves. We got some posts. We were hitting just some.
Oh,
We weren't getting any
Sugar rung one off the post like end of the
puck
second.
luck. And I also thought it was fun in your grind line too. They didn't really do a whole lot offensively, but I thought they played great on the forechecking, great on defense. They were, motivated. They were skating hard. They were all over the place. They were not making things easy for our second line. Our second line, in my opinion, should be one of the higher scoring second lines, if not the highest in the league.
We let
And
Charles
you guys
Mackey get
were
a
just,
win. He probably hasn't seen that all year with the Americans. So
you guys were all over the place. I will say it's kind of funny with Matt Taylor hearing Trent in the executive ivory tower complaining about the reffing with the holding, the tripping, the hooking. The Whalers were pretty dirty that game. As I have a quote. I have a quote from Mr. Wood, your own player. Him saying that Sikorsky played one-handed the whole game, one hand on a stick, the other hand holding Sugar. So even he was saying that you guys were gripping, tripping, all of that. Which, hey, if you guys had a couple penalties.
Yeah,
which they called, but I thought
4.
the refs were actually pretty bad in that game. There should have been more penalties, but you get away with it.
Hey, they let us play.
You guys outplayed us that game anyways, but you get away with it. You get away with it.
I don't know. That's not what I saw from the score box, honestly. I mean, I felt like you guys kind of outplayed like the Whalers to a degree. The difference was like the clinical ability and like the actual scoring chances. So while you guys had more possession of the puck to a degree, especially like the second line. Like you guys did the Red Wing thing where like you guys just like cycle the puck on the outside of the boards and none of your chances were really like dangerous scoring chances until like the third period. Like your first 2 periods, like you guys got shots on Cam, but you didn't really make like Cam work until like the third when he was like, then he started to slide across and making sick glove saves. And there was one glove save you had was really nice. But like you guys, your chances weren't as like high danger as the Whalers were. Especially for like Slick Rick's goal, like it's like a short like one touch pass and then he rips underneath the bar. He's only like 4 feet away from Pangrazi's their goalie, right? Yeah, from Pangrazi in front of the net. Like
you might get it.
One of these days I'll get it. I don't know. Anyways, so I felt like the Whalers, you guys gave up more chances that were more high danger to the Whalers than vice versa. But I would agree with you. The penalties last night, there could have been a couple more called. There's especially one time behind the net on one play where Sugar and Sikorsky literally, I think, just grabbed Sugar with both hands and said, "No, you're done." Like just like battered housewife. Like you're done. I'm just gonna shake you. And then like Sugar's just like being violently shaken in the corner. And then like finally he's able to wiggle free and get the puck. And he's like talking to the referee after the period ends and stuff. And I'm like, that could have been 2 minutes, but
yeah, Sugar was not happy about the reffing. He was pretty pissed about it, but it is what it is. I did think it was probably the second line.
Get 4 penalties though. So
it was probably the second line more, but the Whalers, I think it was the second line. They were playing what I call K-Felks defense, where they all kind of play
the third
in.
Defense.
They kind of scrum down tight, not to let you get anything in front of the net. Where the K-Felks, a lot of times, they'll be playing a team that's more skilled by quite a bit, but yet going into the third period, all of a sudden it's like 0-0. You can just see this other team being like, "What the fuck is going on? How have we not scored?" Maybe they'll rip one off, or maybe we'll upset them or something. But you can tell they're just like, "How are we not scoring against these guys? Look at them skate."
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, at the end of the day, you guys,
more power to us,
Yeah, exactly. If you didn't get any power play chances or you get any extra goals or you didn't generate more high danger chances to the third, I mean, it is what it is. That's just great defense in the Whalers portion. But I mean, you can't win if you can't score. So I mean, even through all that, like if you don't even give Pangrazi any goal support at all, you can't win. So I would say I was mildly surprised yesterday to see that, like, I guess this week's tilt between you guys kind of end up 3-0. But I think the largest factor of the entire game, which I think you touched at the very beginning of this conversation, was the whole Pete. So having Pete for edge, they're not identical players as a swap, so it may have screwed with your chemistry a bit. So
I'll say this as well. I thought Pangrazi played great. It could have been a lot. The score could have looked a lot worse if it wasn't for him.
Yeah, he was making some great saves left to right. I mean, we were definitely making a move. We had a lot of odd man rushes. He was shutting those down. When you get Slick Rick and Trent going at you, you're gonna. I'm pretty sure we had like a couple 2-on-1s and 3-on-1s, and we were just kind of able to put enough pressure on to get one in, or I should say 3. But overall, I loved our performance. We all pretty stoked in the locker room after the game. I think that's our 4th win in a row, so 3rd or 4th. So that's been pretty nice to keep that ball rolling, and
Yeah, you guys have played 5 games, so yeah.
I think it was probably your third in a
Third?
row. 'Cause I
But,
think
third
you
in a row?
lost your second game. I think you
Yeah, to the
won,
Seals.
lost,
That's
then
right.
winning.
Yep.
So let's move on to the last game of the night. Americans versus Nordiques.
Oof.
American 0, Nordiques 6.
The game was over after 4 minutes.
I was going to say,
it was
I
4-0 after the first.
took a shower after the game, came back out, heard a whistle, peeked my head out the door, and it was 3-0 already. Hedis, you were there.
I mean, I'm just gonna sum up the entire game in this stat, and then we can move on to exciting things you guys want. So, within the first 4 minutes of the game, you said it was 3-0, and the shots on net were it was 4-0 after 6 minutes, and the shots on net were 8-2. I mean,
A little rough.
a little rough. I mean, granted, some of them were good scoring chances, but I mean, I don't know what the Americans have to do to get it together, whether it's like generating actual shots on net or team defense or something, but combination of that, and then I don't know who their goalie is, but if he stops
Kayla.
he stops a few more
Number
pucks.
one overall.
He's gonna have to stop a few more pucks.
You sound a little bitter, Cam.
Huh?
You sound bitter about
Oh,
that.
that's fine.
I mean, the number one.
I'm
goal,
doing all right.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, I'm the number one goalie in the league, right? I haven't played a game. I got 0 goals against.
I'm doing okay.
I'll
I'm doing okay down
I'll be
here.
drafted 4th. I don't care. That's our
0
thoughts.
divided by 0 is not 0.
It's just an error, but the point being, does not compute beep boop bop. I'm a goalie, not a mather. That's not even a word. Anyways, long story short, though, 8 shots to 2 after 6 minutes of play, and it was 4 goals. It was 4-0, and then after 4 minutes of play, it was 3-0, and it was 8-1.
I mean, have they had any game come close to a win? Like, I feel like it's been all blowouts.
The Americans had their second game this season was close, and then their other first game was 8-6. It was like 8-6.
Yeah, that was against us.
Yeah, I'd have to
that
look
was
at-
a.
I was going to say, I think the second game was against the Maroons, and I think it was 5-2.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
maybe?
5-2. But you guys got an empty netter, I thought. So it's 4-2, and you guys got an empty net, and then your game was 8-6. But the other games have been pretty bad.
Yeah, but that 5-2, we definitely controlled that game, and
Oh yeah, I remember that.
but it's hard. There's not much to say about that. We'll talk more about the Americans and Tigers, I think, coming up. But
There's a really
Is
pretty.
that next week?
There's really pretty. No,
Oh.
I thought it was too. But
I meant
there's-
team wise about
Oh,
what they'll
okay.
do. We'll have that as a subject in a
There's a-
second.
All right.
There was a really. I mean, on the side note, before we move on, because we didn't really. I mean, we didn't even touch on this game
Busta
'cause I feel
and
bad. But
Todd.
Busta and Todd both got goals yesterday. Busta's goal was super pretty. with,
J
like,
Flow with 2 goals and an assist.
Yeah.
So,
So I mean, and you definitely did some work, Paulie. I mean, Paulie was centering the second line, which had Paulie, Whoop, and Busta, and they all played the Americans.
I almost felt like it was a slap in the face because
Line.
they threw up Drager on the first line, first or
yeah,
second
on the
line.
on the first line.
As a forward, I went up to Drager at the Labatt Blue party deck, and I was like, "Man, were you just trying to, just be cocky over there? Cocky little Nordique?" But he's like, "Oh no, it wasn't intentional." And then he's like, "Oh, it kind of looks bad, doesn't it?"
He had to fulfill the Lapudre brothers' dream of playing together, so
Yeah.
he had to move up.
I mean, their defense was studded last night. So that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking going into the game. I'm like, oh, this has got like a 2-1 Nordiques win all over it because it's like,
Well, and Cone's been playing solid all
yeah,
year.
because Cone's been
so-
playing unreal all year.
Yep.
Both of the Puja brothers are playing defense on one line, and then they had their normal pairing, Suokas and whoever the other person was on the other line, which allowed Payne to move up. So they didn't really have that much firepower up front on like their second line. But I mean, still they got it done between like Proctor and Whoop and like Proctor, Whoop, and Busta. I mean, if there's anything to show that
Streamline.
Proctor's number one, yeah, like I mean, there you go. The man's like involved in every play, and he's just doing the Paulie things, hanging back.
And that was his third game. That was Todd's third game, and he got a goal. So
He did, yeah. Oh, that's another thing we didn't comment on. Yeah, he got the
Yeah.
Iron Man streak. His first auto with the Iron Man streak, all 3 games.
He is the Iron Man, but okay. So when we go to the standings right now, we've had 2 teams so far. The Seals and the Whalers have played 5 games. Everybody else is at 4. Whalers top of the chart with 12 points, but like I said, 1 extra game in hand, followed by the Nordiques and the Seals with 10 points. Seals game in hand, 8 points for the Maroons, 5 for the North Stars, Tigers, and the Americans, all with 0 points. Is it too early to start calling the race for the last playoff spot a 2-horse race, or can things change?
Well, if Hedis gets back in net, that might do some changing. But I
Yeah, I
mean, the
mean-
Tigers got to score. You guys got to score.
I mean,
it's been rough. You guys have to score.
that's the biggest things you'll notice of all the teams in the league. It's like every team's got double digits scoring where they played 4 or 5 games, but the Americans and Tigers, like, they have no goals. like 9 goals for the Americans, and some of them are garbage time, and we've got 7, the Tigers. Like, you can't win a game scoring under 2 goals a game. That just doesn't work. And whether it's like the chemistry, the team you draft, or whatever else, like, you're gonna play beer league hockey, and you're gonna score 1 goal every 3 games and 2 goals the other 2 games.
That's
like,
not going to win you a Stanley Keg. You know?
It's not going to win you anything. It's not going to win you enough games to get to the Stanley Keg. Like, even granted, the Americans have given up more goals than us. They've given up 8 more goals than us, but they've scored 2 more. So I mean,
and the Americans, they scored 6 goals week 1, and I want to say
that was about it.
Edge and Sugar both might have subbed for them that week, and they had like a 4 or 5 of those goals. Or no, it was Peso and Edge, and they scored like 4 or 5 of those goals week 1. So.
Yep. I didn't even think about that, actually. So yeah, they scored even less than us then over those weeks. Looking at it, yeah, because I mean, when Weaver's your leading scorer.
Oh, hey, good for him.
Hey, to be fair, I think week 1 Weaver's goal was sick.
Weaver's got.
Oh, that was a snipe on me.
Yeah,
that was good.
Weaver's got 2 goals.
That was a nice goal.
Weaver's got 2 goals, and Judge has 3 goals, and then after that, like,
that's it, Jim. That's all you get, bud.
It says Serta's got a goal.
So we'll kind of go back to that question. Do you think it's a 2-horse race right now for that last playoff spot? Could the North Stars fall back, or could even a team like the Maroons or the Seals fall back?
Right now, I think it is a 2-horse race. I think it's trying to stay in the keg run. Like, the Americans are not looking solid at all. I don't know if things aren't clicking, if there isn't chemistry. You know, I've talked to a couple of guys on the team, and they're just don't know what to do. So,
perennial Norse candidate defenseman David Podolin yesterday was on the ice for 3 of those goals, and I still stand by.
I think they needed to put him in forward.
Yeah, I still stand by. He should be at forward. I've said that since like week 2. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, Dave's so good at defense." Blah blah. I'm like, sure, Dave's good at defense. Like,
you guys need
because
to score.
he has good lateral mobility, but like him, like the amount of skill like you apply at that defensive position by having him at defense, vice missing like having a Bender or someone there that's like kind of comparable but like not as good as Dave is,
right,
is larger of a gap of skill than putting him up forward and having him be able to maintain the puck and cycle the puck down low.
Well,
or
if you
pass
can,
it.
on their first line they have Antioch, and who else really that makes a big difference.
Yeah, power rankings aren't important. Those are always entertaining. Go read them if you want. But
this week.
Let's just hit the big subject, I guess, kind of left over. We have the Tigers, we have the Americans. Both have 0 points. We'll start with Hedis. What do the Tigers have to do to start turning things around?
You gotta get this lazy asshole guy named Andre Wheaties, Mr. Andrew Hades, out on the ice to stop a puck, because rotating grocery store people playing goalie for the Tigers, as opposed to like having having emergency backups in there instead of me, just does not work. I mean, that was a really emergency backup joke and grocery.
Well,
people,
you guys also have
accountants.
to score goals.
That too, yeah.
And I don't know. I've heard. I mean, you guys have had quite a lot of subs this year as well, for the most part.
Yeah, that's actually
kind of
one
like
of the biggest
it's
things,
kind of
yeah.
like last year when I played for the Tigers, we just couldn't get a full team together. You got Fem on that top line. He's always guaranteed at least 15 goals a season. So
He is, because he's got 1 this year.
That's the thing is maybe hit a cold streak. Who knows?
Well, you also need to remember last year.
Well, we were cut in half.
Fem was a 2nd-round pick, and then they had Fister on top of that. So you kind of take those two together. Now Fem is kind of that top guy. So the question is, can he kind of carry that by himself, or not by himself, but now he's got a 2nd-round pick, which by theory should not be as good as him, when he should have a guy just as good or better than him before. So I do think that it'll be interesting to see.
Oh, he's got 0 goals. Excuse me.
0 right now.
Yeah. So I mean, all the goals on the Tigers,
character.
all the goals on the team for the Tigers are all through like Skillman and Ben. Like they're only team players that have multiple goals. And
Ben just needs to shoot the puck. That's just plain and simple.
Yeah, Ben does need to shoot the puck. He's probably like the best. I'd say Kimmel's like quote unquote. Like, from a goalie standpoint,
Kimmel, I forgot.
He has like the best shot, I think, of like everybody on our team. Oh, actually, no. I say probably Fem does. Fem, then Kimmel.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have people that can shoot the puck on the team. It's getting to the right points on the ice and the right places to facilitate that shot getting on net. And I think the largest issue that I've seen so far is between having subs, between having chemistry and not having whatever excuses you want to make. That's our team, the Tigers in general. We haven't been in the right spots at the right time. So
it'll be interesting for sure to see what happens when you're in net. Part of the question will be will you be rusty? Will you trust your knee? Will you be scared of hurting your
I'm not worried
niece
about any of
again?
that stuff. No, I'll be fine.
We'll see.
That's a
He's
hot
getting
take.
older. He's getting older.
That's a hot take from Piercy.
letting up 6 goals week 1. We'll see what happens.
Are you kidding me? I'm not giving up 6
I
goals
have
week
seen
1.
an angry Hedis in a game before, and it is.
That's not going to happen. Like, this isn't. Maybe if it was against the North Stars in the playoffs, then I'd just say yeah, but probably 7 or 8. But like, I don't 6 goals. Come on, there's only like one team. It's only been Troy, and Troy's has ever scored more than like 4 goals on me in a game. Like,
But I think the first step is getting you back there, kind of seeing your team together as a whole. I think when you look at your team,
might spark some enthusiasm. Maybe kind of get the guys going again.
yeah, I mean, I played with most of these guys, so like before, I mean, I feel like this team is like a reprint copy of like the one we had 2 years ago, almost to a degree.
Minus the Taylor.
Minus the Taylor and Slocum, but
I mean, you guys look solid on paper, so
What the best?
we'll
the best
see what
worst,
happens.
The best worst team. I guess I could say.
we're the best worst team. It's like what? Okay, but yeah, I don't know.
Hey,
Well,
Tigers
on
started
paper-
out really slow last year.
That's true.
They got things together. They made it to the finals, so it's hard to underestimate a team like that. Maybe Skillman and Allen have to pull, a couple levers, see what's going on. I don't know. Looking at the Americans,
I'm gonna make a hot take though. Americans will be dead last and will not make the playoffs.
Well, that's kind of where I was going. I actually think missing the playoffs is a 1-horse race as of right now, and I have to see something to change my mind on that.
Right.
I was trying to think about how to get them going. I'm not 100% sure what their lines look like right now, but they might just have to try like a power line of like an Antioch, Judge.
JP.
I said a power line.
Oh.
Insert
to get something,
insert it together.
Serta, yeah.
Like throw those guys together, and then either like put Dave P back at offense or like stack that second line like the defenseman on that to like try to not give up goals and try to just have one line that can just run and gun and score goals, because you look at those 3 guys.
They should be
those are
producing
3
way
good players.
More. I know it's ridiculous right now.
But then after the first 3 picks, they just started missing on guys, of my opinion. Not to say they're not good guys, but they're 1 or 2 players off every time.
Yep.
So,
I mean, as much as you want to do that, that's the biggest issue. I feel like the Americans roster, to our roster, the Tigers to a degree. You'll notice on some of the teams that if you just go back even like 3 or 4 years, you'll notice that some of the teams that end up towards the bottom, like whether you've missed on draft picks or not, I mean, which generally ends up what's happening.
you need a solid 2 lines.
You need solid 2 lines, but it's more so that the players on your team don't have positional flexibility. Some of the best teams in Monday Night Lights have positional flexibility. At least like 1 or 2 guys that you can say, oh, it's not working. Let's change it up. We'll move one guy from defense to forward to defense. Then you don't have to make those in-season trades, because the biggest thing about Monday Night Lights is no team is going to, like, the better teams in the league aren't going to be motivated to trade with you unless they're winning on a deal.
Mm-hmm.
So if a team if the haves are already trading with the have-nots and they're not going to trade with the have-nots unless they get a better deal, the have-nots are never going to get better. There's no incentive for the have-nots to, like, there's no incentive for the better teams to ever trade with the lower teams per se.
Right.
So, I mean, and this, we're getting like a more of a philosophical kind of like discussion, change topic here. But what I'm trying to lead into is the Americans only have, I think, like 2 guys that could kind of like flip-flop positions back and forth. And that's really like Dave P and not Bronny, excuse me, Dave P and Weaver. I guess Bronny can, but I really just see Bronny as like the only stalwart defenseman they kind of have right now.
He's a solid D.
So I mean, I guess Judge can too, but like I said, like they just like they don't have that much.
And you got Crunk on the second line.
Yeah, I mean, like,
pioneering all that. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys masquerading as like a defenseman, but they're really like, I know you guys say Dave P can play defense. I don't think he can. I think he's a forward. Period. And the same thing with Bronny. I think like Bronny's defenseman. Period. I know they want to play forward, but like they're just better, and it's ingrained like in their positional like ability that they're just better at that position. So like even though on paper it looks like they have like 4 or 5 guys can swap positions, they don't. They have like
who do
2.
the Americans have next week?
The Americans have
Don't they have the bye?
No, we have the bye.
You have the bye?
Yeah, the Whalers have the
the
bye.
Americans have the North Stars next week, so that'll be a good matchup. I think it's tough. I think someone like Dave P can play defense, but you don't want him to be like the first pick in the 4th round defenseman. You want him to be like a 5th round, defenseman, like a late 5th round defenseman. So like where he got drafted, where he's put.
He went up 4th overall for them, right?
I think he was the first pick in the 4th round.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was on that 3-4 turn because they took him, and then we went peso
little
after
early
that.
on that, but
So yeah, I mean it's just tough, and like you said, trades, they're not easy. No one's gonna feel bad for the Americans as far as you're not gonna make a trade unless you think it's gonna make your team better.
they got a keg in
And,
hand, so
last year I know they had some feelers kind of going out, but I know they were stretching on stuff. They were trying to, really turned one guy they thought people would value very high into like another high guy plus like a medium guy and give up more of a bender role. And that's just tough. I don't know.
That won't, and that can't really, and that's the thing, like you're saying, that just doesn't happen, or it can't happen unless like there's some sort of variable in place, like this person, like a locker room guy, like I like, but like you guys hate, or you want to give up like goal, like the Tigers the one year, like they swap goalies around, like, oh, like Riley's perceived like the worst goalie in the league, and it's that much of a difference. Well, when he goes on to another team, and then you make more trades after that with different, better
It's all
players.
chemistry and where you're at in the
chemistry.
season.
Yeah,
So-
I would say right now the Americans' best chance would be to trade Kayla. I mean, his numbers don't look great, but we've seen him play really good.
He's a solid
we
goalie.
know he's all a solid goalie. If some team felt like they needed to upgrade, that's probably the best chance. I don't know if anybody right now feel like they have major goalie issues though. So that's the biggest question there, is if there even be suitors at this time.
Well, I mean, if he fucks up or something, they might think of it.
When
When? Oh wow! With
And
the
Piercy,
chirp.
you have no idea how stoked I am to play you
Sure.
guys in the Maroons.
I
like,
will say I was talking to Chad about this. Sorry to interrupt. We were talking like, could the Americans be could this team be one of the worst this year? And then we kind of got into the talk about the Ducks. Are they gonna?
Oh, like we're the worst Monday Night Light franchises in the
Yes.
history of like
Yes.
what franchise could possibly be like the worst in like Monday Night Light's history? And well, I mean, we've played what, 5 years now?
Yeah,
I think it
going
is,
on
or is it 6? Going on 6?
5 or 6.
Yeah. So like the Americans we're 5 going on 6. The Americans arguably are there, like you said, with the Ducks and with possibly the Deeks, but just because I mean they've been
rough.
bad for 3 seasons, right? 3 out of their 5 seasons they played, they've been bad.
Now, can they turn it around in the next 2 rotations? We've seen it before. They might get a fire under their ass. Maybe they just couldn't get everything going. But
I hope so. Like I said before, I don't want
I
any
just feel
team
bad
to
for all the
be
guys.
horrible.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel bad for all the guys on the team right now. You're just completely demoralized. Like there's not a lot you can do. You need to find a little spark of energy to get the boys going.
And it's not a fun. I mean, it is a fun league. I mean, Monday Nights is a fun league, but it's not fun in the league when it feels like there's two, or any type of league it is, and when it feels like you're playing 2 separate leagues. When you have like half the table, you have like 3-4 teams separated from another 2 or 3 teams,
Right.
And the games aren't close. Like we've all been in those leagues before, whether it's at Troy or another beer league somewhere else. That's like that's not fun. But like when all the teams are beating each other, and like there's maybe like one team that's like got 3 more points than another team or something like that, or a game in hand. They're slightly better than the rest. It's like fine, it's within like catching distance. Like you go up against the Seals, you think you can win an XYZ year, but when you go up against the Seals and you're like, oh, we're last place, we're not going to win, and blah blah blah. Like it just doesn't feel good.
Exactly. So next week's games, we're looking at a Tigers Nordiques matchup for Hedis's debut in
ultimate
the league.
comeback here.
North Stars versus the Americans, and Golden Seals versus the Maroons. Obviously, we're going to be looking at the spotlight on the 2 teams that don't have any points yet. It's going to be crucial for one of them to get some points coming up in the next few weeks. They are the November 1st matchup, though, is the Tigers versus the Americans. So is that an early game of the year candidate?
It has to be.
I mean, it can't be purely an early game of the year candidate, because also like I don't know. I felt like was it last week when it was 2 number 1s, like the Maroons and you guys played last? Was it you guys last week?
Nordiques
against
and the
Deeks?
Maroons.
Yeah, I thought that was a great matchup. This
That
week
was a
will
fun
be
game to watch.
And this week will also be an interesting matchup because there's like 2 former number 1s bouncing back. Can't like see what happens between you and the Seals this week. So that's gonna be a game I'm gonna stay to watch personally, even at 11:30. So
Oh yeah, that one will be interesting. I'm calling it right now. Where's Drager? We need a flex schedule. We need to make sure the Tigers and the Tigers and the Americans are the 10:30 matchup, the prime time.
the prime time.
I can hear that's my Whoop imitation. I can hear Drager saying "fuck you, Piercy, shut the fuck up" right now. But so that is fair. But yeah, it is interesting because
His ears are ringing.
first loss of the year for the Maroons. Obviously, the locker room wasn't quite as hype as after wins. So it always is nice to see how the
sorry
team's gonna
about
see how they bounce back. You get into a couple game losing streak, people start to doubt things, but I think we got a good solid team. We got a bunch of talent, I think, in my book. So I think we're gonna bounce back.
You guys can score goals.
But lead to
You're a-
wins,
you're a great
I don't
team.
know.
You're a
But
great
I
team.
think in what I've learned over the years, and especially in drafting in year 2, is you need those goals. You got to draft some guys who can score. So
Yeah, and not just guys that are perceived goal scorers, guys that can actually score. Like people are like, oh, Peso's a goal scorer. Is he? I mean, I remember the one year he didn't score any goals at all, and then the next year he scores.
Whalers here.
Yeah, then the next year he scores goals. So it's like, perception's different than reality, right? Like I remember Kimmel last year scored some goals. The year
That was
before
deep.
that didn't score like all that often. I mean, the stats say he didn't, but like everybody goes in spurts, and it's kind of tough some years to draft some guys expecting goals or not goals and chemistry to work, and then it doesn't. So it definitely, like you said, goals run the league, and if you believe in your team's talent, I mean, I don't see you guys making a trade or doing anything.
It's also tough because I think it's, at least from what I've noticed and my perception, is you can have a guy who's scoring left and right all year, but he needs certain players around him to do it. So you draft a guy because, that guy was, made a big leap this year. His numbers are off the chart. You essentially now draft him. I'm going to make him my number one on line 2. Well, maybe having him the best player on that line isn't the player he is, and then he's going to struggle and not score like he did. You have to look at a lot of those players and say, what's their potential, but how do you actually need to match those guys up with other guys?
I will say the comment in our game is you've become more of a offensive defensive Ben. I'm pretty sure
Who?
you, yeah, you,
Brian Piercy, offensive defenseman candidate of the year.
I mean, you're just playing with more of a chip on your shoulder. You're getting a little bit more aggressive in those corners down low and being a little more active with the stick and
pinching into the zone,
if
you will,
a little bit. And I'm pretty sure I faced at least 4 or 5 shots from you, which that's a nuance right there. That's new.
I did have one come out that I kind of like slap shot as it was coming out, and it kind of was going right for your head, but it just went over the crossbar and you ducked. I was like, ooh.
That's great for my fantasy team. Piercy's on my fantasy team. So more shots you put on that baby, more points I get. Keep going.
Now I just need I need my Pims up.
MNL Fantasy League.
I'd be about that. I'm telling you, all the goalies should do that one of these years. We should just draft like actual players and have a fantasy league with the pool. Have the auto company, they'll put up some Pistons tickets or something.
Oh, geez.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
We're not doing pick'ems this year. Or are we?
I sent a pick 'em in the first week because I wasn't here and you guys were playing and I didn't know if they were in or not. So I'm like, oh shit! All right, here's Pierce. Here's some pick 'ems. And then he's like,
man.
oh, we're not doing it this year. I'm like, oh
Man,
thank God.
I think I thought about it like a week ahead of time, and then after the last 2 years, I'm just like, that was so much work. I've been so busy
I bet.
at work as well. I'm just like, if no one says anything, I'm just gonna ignore it. See if someone else wants to take it over. If not,
Nope.
I think Hedges was the only one that remembered. So I was like, there wasn't a giant cry for it, so people must not have, liked it that much. So,
I mean, the winners did get some pretty cool tickets. I mean, what they got, like UFM game and
I don't know. I'm still waiting on my prize from last year.
Pay up, Autos. Pay up.
Troy knows. I mentioned to him, I don't actually care. I mean, I'd rather if Brawny came in second if it was tickets to some event or whatever. I'd rather just give them to someone like that than myself because
Once I see all
I'm
the leaders
boring.
start carrying
I'm
it
old.
away,
All my friends are married with kids. So if it's like, hey, I got Red Wing tickets, you want to go? It's like, I gotta watch my kids tonight. I can't do that. I'm a loser now. What am I talking about? I've always been one. So whatever.
Wow.
We're getting dark here.
Yeah,
Self-deprecation. All right.
You can't make fun of yourself. You can't make fun of anybody.
That is true.
Last thing, Whalers are on the bye. In the first place. Great time to go on a bye. I don't have any other subjects right now. Does anybody else have anything they want to talk about?
LCA skate.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I got the
LCA
LCA
skate coming
skate.
up. That's exciting.
That's gonna be fun.
Is that a Thursday?
That is a Thursday night.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta.
No wonder I didn't sign up for it. I can't leave the house during the week unless it's hockey.
Well, it is hockey.
Hockey league.
It's hockey. Cam's face.
I think that'd be fun.
skate.
The year that you guys did the Belfour skate, I missed. That was my first year in the league, so kind of bummed out I missed that. So this will be really cool getting to play on the actual, main sheet. So hopefully we bring a bunch of photographers out, and I'll do my hair and
Well-
make sure you can see
Photographers for the jerseys we don't have and the not slick
Oh,
looking we
you
are.
can still wear some old jerseys. It doesn't matter. You can.
LCA Ice, new arena. Maybe are we gonna get a proposal this year like we did? I think it was year 1 with J. Cole.
Oh.
I'm so confused which both you are talking about. I'm going ho. I'm lost.
No, I was year 1 when we played at the Joe. Jeremy Cole proposed to his now wife at the skate. So
What? Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. So
Spicy, not so spicy anymore.
I mean, I'm still spicy. I'm just
who knows?
Didn't know.
Maybe
Don't know
Peso,
inside
maybe
trivia
Cam.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure she would love that if I'm like, all right, hey, do you want to come to my skate?
I'm-
All right, cool. Nobody to see you, but, except my buddies. I don't think she would.
I'm sure
enjoy that so
Dylan will
much.
do it.
Dylan-
100% will do it. Dilly will.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Okay, I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah. Change of subject.
So yeah, the LCA skate's coming up. That'll be fun. All you guys bought tickets for a game coming up as well.
Yeah.
Peso is selling a ticket if anybody needs an extra one.
I think JP is as well. So there's still 2 tickets out there, but I don't think it guarantees you the skate.
Is that against the Canadians?
Yeah,
Yeah.
13th.
Yep.
So I'm sure.
Kind of bummed
I'm sure
out
that's
Carey Price isn't playing. So
I was gonna say, I'm sure that's an easy game to sell with being by Canada, all the Canadian fans going in. So worst case scenario, you can probably get close to your money back or your money back on those. So
It's
be a good
stuff.
time.
Good
Any
tickets.
other subjects we're looking to cover?
I mean, we can't really talk about trade rumors because I didn't hear anything from anybody really this week. I know the Nordiques aren't really looking to trade anybody. I mean, everyone's always open for offers if it makes it
I
look
will
good
say
for
I
us.
did
but-
listen to the last podcast this afternoon and compared, and some spicy takes were that the Tigers were going to do pretty well. Americans were still not great, and there's been some changings in the rankings since the last time you guys talked. So,
Always is.
yep.
Heard any rumors about the Maroons?
From trades? No. Why? I mean, no. Why
I
you
just
guys
want.
are
I
like
just
this-
want to see your sources.
You
See,
guys are like the second highest in the league, unless you're gonna come at me and be like, "Hey, Hedis, we're looking to drop a spicy trade." I'm gonna tell either you or what's Kimmel's alternate profile?
Zeke.
Zeke. Yeah,
Zeke.
Zeke Rollins, right?
Zeke Rollins.
Quote unquote. Unless someone's gonna tell Zeke, like I mean, I didn't hear anything from that, but
I will say, let's get some more voicemails. It's
Yeah, I think.
been crickets.
I think as of right now, I'm possibly looking at doing the next podcast in 2 weeks. The K-Falcons have another 11 o'clock game, doing games or doing podcasts on K-Falcons game night in a lot of ways easier because essentially it gives me a night free and I can just put everything in one night and then be tired and useless at work anyways. So
I will say this is like the first year that we've actually had to do an 11:30 that I'm aware of that I played in. But a lot of leagues do 11:30s. It's just we're getting a taste of all the other
Mhm.
crap. So
Yeah.
I mean, we're playing on Fridays at Troy. We're still getting the late skates. So hang
Yeah.
in there. I know. it
well, I'm
sucks.
also looking into possibly with the podcast. I don't know if a 7 o'clock start would be too early for people, but if we have 10 o'clock games in the K-Falcons, if that's a possibility as well, maybe a 7:30. I don't know. It doesn't always have to watch live. It's available immediately on YouTube right away. You can actually, even if you click on the link and you've started late, you can rewind the whole thing from the start. You don't have to wait for it to end to see the whole thing. So
Gone past the old Twitch days. That's kind of nice.
also look for audio feed, probably be tomorrow evening as I have work to do tomorrow, unfortunately. So,
it do be like that sometimes.
but yeah, look in about 2 weeks. If you're interested in coming in, just send me a message on Slack. We'll go from there.
Feels great to be back in the well, gentlemen.
It
I will
does.
say,
I'm drinking my my coffee, not my beer. So
not boba tea.
my boba tea, right?
All right.
I like how we bring it full circle.
All right, later, boys.
Yeah, but besides that, I guess we are over.